I just want to echo the remarks of the young man over here to my right in the white jacket about the experiences he went through back. I'm imagining maybe in the actually I don't want to say a year, but incidents like last night where you have trees falling and a number of things really kind of put things in perspective. For me personally, it really makes me realize what's really important in life, which is your immediate family and the whole thing. I probably slept about 3 hours last night. I have 2 young kids, and I could hear all the rumbling, and was just hoping that nothing fell in the house. I have a corner house, and with 2 young kids in our bedroom, was just kind of in fear for basically ready to jump up and protect them if need be. So thank God for allowing us to come here this morning. And just remember, not just for these holidays, or this holiday season, but just in general, that we're all blessed to be here, because there's a lot of others that don't have those opportunities, and you're all blessed to be able to have a business and be able to push forward to make a good living and care for your loved ones. So with that, I'd like to just kind of give you an introduction. I want to thank Lee for inviting me here this morning. We're both fellow Rotarians in the city of Alhambra, part of the Rotary Club, and so we thought it might be a good idea to give you guys an update, being that you're in the real estate market, of what's happening in the city of Alhambra in terms of some of the commercial developments. We do have some residential developments as well, but I want to give you a quick update about that. So with that, let's see, I believe, okay, I'll have to put on my glasses, so I won't be on the screen here. It's all that reading in college. Actually, look over here. Well, so wanted to just mention before I start with the presentation that the city of Alhambra was actually given an award by the LA Economic Development Corporation in 2010. We were given the award for the most business-friendly city in the county by what is known as LAEDC, and a lot of that has to do with the practices in terms of, we understand and we know that it's very important for us to get businesses to come into our city in terms of the economy, as well as job development and job creation. So just wanted to put that plug in for the city of Alhambra. And with that, wanted to mention some of the developments and some of the things that we're working on here in the city as of late. We recently had an expansion over at the Target. How many of you have shopped over at Target in Alhambra? All right, we need some more. We need everybody to shop there. So we just recently completed a renovation. The expansion includes a little grocery component, and the way we were able to get this done is essentially expedited plan check, and we really made an effort to ensure that Target, we were at the service of Target to get things moving there. As you know, cities depend on sales tax revenue primarily, as well as some of the business permits in order to bring in additional revenue. So this was a godsend for us in the city. We also, and still haven't even had the ribbon cutting yet, but we recently brought in a Howard's, which was here which actually coming down on Valley. There was a Howard's here in San Gabriel. We now were able to recruit those folks to move over to Alhambra. No hard feelings with the city of San Gabriel, but they chose a great location that I think is transited very much along the Main Street corridor. And so those of you that are familiar with it, that's over on 2121 West Main Street, near the Fresh and Easy, and along with a couple other restaurants there. And it was 42,000 square foot commercial space where they're going in. And so now people will be able to, instead of going over to Best Buy, not that it's a bad thing, but going to Best Buy in Pasadena or other places, they can shop in Alhambra and keep the sales tax revenues there for us. We also have expanded the diversity in terms of dining facilities. We, with the closure a few years ago of one of our steakhouses over on Main, had not had a significant or a well-known steakhouse in the area, and so we were able to bring in a medium rare steakhouse, which actually features some great cuts, including some Argentina cuts that are pretty good. Been there a few times myself, and it's great food. And that provided, we brought up about $113,000 in tenant improvement assistance to remodel the interior of that building, and again, expand something. Next to that is a boiling crab. This is actually the second boiling crab in the city of Alhambra. There's another one on Valley, and that place, you go any day of the week, has a line outside of folks waiting to be seated to dine there. We also have brought in recently a Brazilian restaurant to the city. It's a Boteco restaurant. It's a bar and lounge, and it's got it features some pretty good, what is called churrascaria, which is some Brazilian. So we're trying to diversify as much as we can, at least along the Main Street corridor. We provided no assistance, but these are the kinds of things that we work with our city manager and staff to ensure that our residents have a diversity of restaurants in the city. We also, any of you familiar with Charlie's Trio? Charlie's Trio, there's obviously one in Alhambra, there's one in the city of LA on Huntington as well, and they're both owned by the same folks. They're brothers, been there a long time. So we just assisted these folks in actually expanding the Charlie's Trio to include a wine tasting retail lounge, which I think should be a pretty nice feature for some of our residents and customers here in the city, or I'm sorry, in Alhambra. We're also bringing the Doghouse restaurant. Any of you been to the LA Fitness on Main Street? There used to be a Baja Fresh there. Now that's going to be replaced with what is called the Doghouse, which apparently brings some gourmet hot dogs, sausages, hamburgers, etc. I've never tasted it myself, but I hear some pretty good reviews about it. So I can't wait to go and taste a couple of those products there.
Take some good dogs.
Good dogs? All right. We also have some new construction and mixed use project. One is here on 410 West Main Street. It's a 4-story mixed use redevelopment project, and currently under construction. You can see the 8,200 square feet. And I guess the main thing to feature here is that we've really emphasized, in addition to the condos, the live work units. Because what that's going to include is if a business owner wants to come in, they will be able to have their retail on the first floor, the retail space on the first floor, and then their living space on the second floor. This is something that obviously it's not a new concept, but with a lot of the increasing traffic, with a lot of increasing congestion, with some of the mandates coming down from the state to bring down carbon footprint and use more public transportation, this is a great way, or at least a very great first step, to incentivize folks to work and live within their own space without having to get in their car and travel 30 miles, 20 miles, or to downtown LA to do their business. So this I think is going to be a very nice pilot project for us, and I want to personally follow this very closely to see how productive that is in terms of, it's only 9 units, but it's a good pilot to begin. And so you'll see some of the market value is about 30 million there, and then about 30 jobs have been created permanently there, in addition to obviously the construction that's included as part of that project. There's on Howard Street, we have some townhomes as well, and these are supposed to accommodate also low-income households. As many of you know, there are also state mandates for us to have 20% of our set aside for a low-income household when we receive money from the state, and so this here will help meet some of those numbers, as well as house some low-income folks. And by the way, there's a huge misconception about what low-income is, and I've had this debate and discussion with folks over the years. But low-income can be a teacher, a firefighter, a police officer, because it doesn't take very much to get to that level. I mean, some of our, well, if you look at City of LA, some of those police officers start at $45,000, $50,000 a year. Teachers can start at about $35,000 a year. So low income does not mean that we're going to bring in basically what some people misconceive as, you know, the guy that's going to steal your car or what have you. The low income actually is a very realistic thing for many of us that are teachers, firefighters, and other kinds of professionals, young students out of college. So just wanted to point that out there. And so we've got a project here in the city, or in Alhambra, to break some of that in. Here's another commercial project, mixed-use commercial project with about 94 residential condos, 5,000 square feet. The project's already fully entitled, and soil remediation is underway. Some of you guys may know an investor by the name of San Juan. San Juan is the owner here of the property and is actually invested in this. So right now we're going through the soil remediation, and we're hoping to achieve some of this, or complete this project, or get it underway at least in March of next year. The Alhambra Pacific Plaza is also another one on the corner of 4th and Main, which again is mixed use, and we hope to bring potentially some commercial as well. Super A Foods, I don't know how many of you have shopped there in the past, but Super A Foods is unfortunately ceasing to exist. They've sold their property to a developer, and so this is what that developer is planning to do with that. But we are hoping to bring to Alhambra back what we used to have, which was the Trader Joe's. We did a survey a few years back and asked our residents what they'd like to, some of the things that they'd like to see back in the city or in the city, and hands down, one of the most popular things was the Trader Joe's. Obviously, people need to travel. I think what is it, to Rose Meat down Huntington to get to Trader Joe's. So this would be a little bit, this would be a great break as well. You can read for yourself the rest of the things. A $40 million valuation project, and these are basically some of the next steps. This is something that is very excited about. Office facility project here on Gateway, Alhambra, about 130,000 square feet. This is an LA County project, and I'm personally very excited about this. If you look down at the project, well, actually, the number's not up here, but this is supposed to bring on the site, actually it is on there, 575 employees to the city of Alhambra. I mean, it's no secret that it's hard times in the economy, and that businesses are suffering up and down, the county. The reason I'm very excited about this is that here is an opportunity for the city of Alhambra to really inject a lot of customers and consumers into the Main Street area during the day. We do pretty well in the evenings and on weekends, but I think, as is true for the rest of the county, there are you see restaurants, you see shopping, retail, etc. that are empty during the day, and they're suffering. So to bring in close to 600 people into the city, or employees, into the Main Street corridor is going to be a great thing. The other thing that we're trying to figure out is whether or not we can provide like sort of an ACT bus that goes up and down, especially during the lunch hour, so that people can easily access some of our restaurants and our shopping areas. So again, and again, emphasizing the fact that as cities, we need to really figure out how to bring in some of our revenues by increasing consumption within the city, because we rely on sales tax revenue primarily. So that's a great. Oh, the other thing about this project is that when we negotiated with the county, we ensured that there was going to be no cafeteria or in the building, in this building. They said, okay, you want to come to Alhambra, then you need to shop in Alhambra. So that was kind of our takeaway. And as you may know, this as the theater that was on Atlantic and Main. This is essentially the parking structure is staying the same, and the building is what's basically changing. And here's some additional office spaces, developments that are occurring. The Alhambra Hospital Medical Center, healthcare, that's one of the things that's also kind of expanded. Edison is doing a data center as well. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the LA CDC. I'll take an opportunity here on the AHMC, hospital or medical center. We have an opportunity here in the San Gabriel Valley that is unlike many others. If you look up and down Garfield, Maine, Valley, you see a lot of physicians and physician groups. You see a lot of medical related professionals. One of the most successful businesses right now, especially after the Healthcare Reform Act requirements, is the production of biotech and biomed products. We all know the difference between drugs and generics. Well, the Healthcare Reform Act is going to require, or is requiring, that in addition to the stuff, the liquids, which are like your drugs that are injected into your body, cancer, et cetera, they're requiring now that folks like Amgen, Grifols, and those kinds of look into the production of biosimilars, which would be the equivalent of generics to drugs in the liquid form. And so, for instance, if we look at Thousand Oaks, Thousand Oaks has an Amgen out there. If we look just west of Alhambra, there is Grifols in the city of LA. Those folks produce, or people can get a job there working, essentially manufacturing some of these biomed products, starting at about $50,000 with an AA degree. So when we talk about job creation and economic development, this is kind of an untapped market, and there's over 250 of these kinds of biomed, biotech companies in the state of California now. And so I personally, we've in the city of Alhambra have made a commitment to reach out to some of these groups to see if they might, if we might be able to accommodate them to come to our city to provide some of those jobs to our residents, and and get a product that's going to be needed anywhere. As you know, people are living longer, and people are getting older. They're needing health care for a longer period of time as well, and so these are the kinds of opportunities that we really need to look into, obviously in addition to the retail and commercial development that we're already focused on in the city. This is just another sort of topic for us. We just in the process of resurfacing Main Street, which is where we get a lot of transit, and so it's we figure the aesthetics really count in terms of bringing people to the city. And I will end with this. This is over on Mission. If you go up and down Mission from Alhambra towards the San Gabriel Mission, you'll see on your right-hand side that there is this Arch of Alhambra. Many of you may not know, but Alhambra is known as the gateway, or at least we have labeled ourselves as the gateway to the San Gabriel Valley. And so that's what this arch represents there. And so next time around, make sure you don't drive in there, though, because it doesn't go all the way through. So with that, I'll take any questions. Thank you. Any questions?